Howdy, friends and floorheads. It is day 2 of our 3 days of streaming. Yesterday, we did our 13th episode? Yeah, 13th episode of Trail of Cthulhu with Brian running the game, Naomi playing. Brian and Naomi are back for this. How do you end a possession? We're using the Shiver and Shiver Gothic system. If you missed the first 6 episodes, catch them on our YouTube playlist. Our doom clock holds at just past quarter past, and we are in the process of sussing out exactly what happened when Jeannie, Lady Churchill, killed Susanna Price, Lusk's wife. Let's rewind a little bit. It's October 31st, 1888 in England. Our 4 characters are attending a getaway at the country estate of Lord and Lady Randolph Churchill at Hampshire by New Forest. The spirit of one of the Whitechapel victims, Mary Ann Nichols, seems to be in control of Lady Jeannie Randolph. We left our 4 characters alone with her and Mr. Churchill while Elizabetha tried to make a connection. The response was a chilling and almost demonic declaration that they are wasting time. Can they save Lady Churchill from this possession? If they do, should they also save them from Chief Inspector Aberline in Scotland Yard? Will Dr. Charlotte and Rosalind's kill list get any longer, or will they start to cross off some names? And what is the truth behind the strange relationship between Lord Reginald Montague and Madame Seraphina Leclerc that was sensed by Elizabetha? Now, if you watched the end of last episode, you know that I'm going to be calling for some fear checks, but let's first go to the opening titles. Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. So Elizabetha, Jeannie snapped her head, made eye contact with you, and in a very, not her voice, said that you are wasting time. Everybody has heard this. We see Lord Churchill fall back into his chair like he was hit by a wave of power, seeing his wife's mouth move and this voice leave. And as I intimated, we are going to need some fear checks. And I think I need to start with you, Elizabetha, and unfortunately, I'm going to put you at a disadvantage. So if you can do -1 die for me, 1 skill die.
Oh, what?
So this will be a strange check.
Come on.
No problem. 2 successes. Yes. Going to be a little bit delayed on your side. So, Elizabetha, we're going to find out why, but you were able to hold. Harry, you're back there with Lord Churchill. You were trying to keep him distracted. He falls to the chair. You hear this voice come from the bed. Let's have a fear check from you as well.
Would you say that this is a fear check that is caused by a monster?
No question.
Okay, then that gives me major advantage on account of I am a hardened hunter.
So
and
you need to add a talent die to your strange check.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
And it helps.
2 successes. Very well done. Dr. Charlotte, with all of your medical background and all of the funny business you've been doing, this is a very different realm for you. So let's get a fear check and see how you do. Okay. So a few things happen here. 1, let's tick my clock. for a failed fear check. And then we're going to come back to you. Lady Rosalind, I also need a fear check from you as well, please. You're on mute right now, Amy.
No, it doesn't scare me.
No, it does not. Okay. I'm going to come back to you, Dr. Charlotte, but let's first go to Elizabetha. Elizabetha, what is your reaction and why did this not frazzle you?
I think I retract my hand because I was scratched, and I just grab it and I stand there just for a moment. And then I think I get a bit angry because she scratched me. You know, I'm trying to help, and I think purely instinctual, I'm going to slap Jeannie and just say, Mary, get out of her.
Excellent.
And just, and then grab and step back.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Harry, what is your reaction?
Well, I think Harry was more or less expecting something like this. He had seen, all the signs and trails. So he's just kind of like, if we're wasting time, then tell us what you want us to do. We want to put you to rest. Let's do it.
How about for you, Lady Rosalind? What is your reaction?
We are very much in the realm that I am far more accustomed to. This is definitely something that I have faced down with Dr. Charlotte. Maybe not exactly like this, not quite as vengeful, but at least somewhat familiar. And it was sort of expected. I think we all knew that we were going to get a strange reaction here.
And I think that's what makes Dr. Charlotte's reaction interesting to me. First of all, let's change your fear status to afraid. So you succumb to fear as it invades your mind. When you are afraid, you temporarily lose one core skill point from every core skill to a minimum of 1. So you're going to be at a -1 disadvantage on all of your checks until we turn your fear status up to stable. What does an afraid Charlotte look like, and why? I mean, we hear from Rosalind that maybe you have faced this before, but why is this different?
So this is particularly different for myself because the last time I also did not succeed in it. So it's bringing up those old memories of essentially failing, and it's coming to fail again. So what you see from myself right now is like I just tense up. Just going to grab her little medical bag and start heading out the room.
Oh, okay. Now, Elizabeth, you slap Jeannie, and Lord Churchill has got his eyes covered, so he doesn't see this and doesn't even recognize it. And all the blood has left his face, Harry. You can see him visibly shaken. There wasn't a literal power wave that came from this exclamation, but it hit him like it was. His fear status is no bueno at this point. Elizabeth, you slap her, and her head jerks into the pillow as you do that, and then her head just turns back, looks straight up again in that distant gaze, and you realize she's no longer laying in the bed. She's laying slightly above the bed.
I'm holding my scratched arm and I'm stepping slightly back from the bed, watching her and just waiting for the others to act at this moment. This is getting above the level that I've done before, but I'm still a bit mad, but I'm cautious.
I feel like this is probably when Harry starts talking to Marianne, and I think, like, without even consciously registering it, I probably step between her and Lord Churchill, just because that's where I'm standing. I'm saying, What do you want? We want to help you get back to some manner of eternal rest. What do you need from us?
Can I get a strange check from you, Harry?
I suppose you could.
Yes.
Not a very good one, but a strange check nonetheless.
You're trying to elicit some sort of explanation, which I think is very legitimate at this point. You've been told clearly that you're wasting time, but you've also not been given a whole lot of information by this entity about what any of this means. You see a small smirk emerge on Jeannie's face as blood starts to drip out of both of her ears and it starts to stain the white sheets of her bed.
Stop that. Stop it now. It's not her fault. She doesn't have anything to do with this. And I'm stepping forward again, but hesitant. Stop. You know what? Is it Lusk? Did Lusk do it?
Give me an idea of what we're trying for here, Elizabeth.
I think I'm also trying to get an answer, trying to engage, not connect, because I'm not touching her again. But just trying to distract the entity or whatever it is.
I think because of the connection that you did make, I want you on an advantage for this. So go ahead and add a skill die for me, and let's do another strange check as you try to communicate, not connect here, and elicit something. Right? We're trying to elicit a response.
One success.
Yeah, as the words leave your mouth, Elizabeth, we see Jeannie. Her body, she's still under the covers of the bed, right? But we see her lifted up slightly. We see her, like on a rotisserie, start to slowly roll towards you. Her hair is now fallen and is on the pillow, and she's effectively on her side, facing all of you, most notably Elizabeth. The knife is here. Leaves her mouth. And then we see her fall and hit the bed, and her nose start to bleed. Dr. Charlotte, you step out. You miss a good bit of this. What are we doing?
I'm going to follow her out.
Oh, you're going to follow? Okay. Lady Rosalind and Dr. Charlotte, both of you are now in the hallway.
I'm not sure. I'm going to just keep walking.
I'm gonna stop her. Hey, what's going on?
This is not something I am necessarily adept at.
Of course it is.
Esoteric, it doesn't speak to me. It has never spoken to me. It will be, Elizabetha is there. She can handle this. I'm going to walk home.
You know that we can't get out of here. If we could have left, I would have left by now.
Well, we haven't really tried.
Where's Emerson?
You're actually not wrong.
Oh, Emerson's by my side.
So you start to walk down the hallway. I mean, are you going back to your room? Are you going out the front door? Give me an idea of what's going on here.
Going straight out the front door. We haven't tried walking out, so I'm just going to try to walk out.
I'm just following her the whole time. We can't do this. We can't leave them to this. We have a kill list we have to take care of before we can leave.
There are boxes that need checked.
I don't know how much time
We don't leave things unfinished.
Go ahead,
I
Elizabeth.
don't know how the timing is, but I can imagine when Lady Churchill, drops to the bed, I turn around and just call Charlotte, and that's when I notice that she's not there.
She's gone.
I'm not touching Lady Charlotte, Lady Churchill, but I'm heading to the door and opening it and going to, call for Charlotte. Because this looks medical now, and and at the same time, I don't want to touch her again.
That's fair. Real quick, Harry, before I have Elizabeth call down the hallway.
Seeing everybody leave, he's actually going to walk over to Jeannie, and not that he has any significant medical training, but just try and grab a handkerchief out and just try and wipe away the blood, see if it's continuing, if it was just a one-time thing, and do whatever he can for her. I mean, he's probably dealt with a broken nose in a pub brawl kind of thing, so just whatever minimal skills he has.
Yeah,
I'm just opening the door and looking out, so I'm not actually. So I'll just open the door, look out, and call for Charlotte, and just looking about, like, where are they? So I don't know if I can still see them or that they've already left.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think the door is open. Your back is there as Harry walks up, and Harry, you pull a handkerchief maybe out of your coat, and you start cleaning up some of the blood on her ear and coming out of her nose. It's not stopping. It's not like gushing by any stretch of the imagination, but there is some sort of trauma obviously happening to poor Jeannie through all of this. As you're doing this, Brian, you're noticing like her skin tone has turned grayish. You would swear she's aging. Like, she looks older than you've ever seen her, and you just saw her. So, like, whatever is happening here, Jeannie's not doing well.
So I would probably, call towards the door, get her in here. Not in a very friendly way. And then, is there anything... this is going to sound extremely inappropriate. I mean, she's not wearing any unusual jewelry or having anything else on her that looks like it might be a physical, link to whatever's doing this?
No.
Okay.
No. So if we're looking for like the locket or something, there's nothing. In fact, you could tell she was preparing for bed, right? She got out of bed with Lord Churchill, so her jewelry is off. So yeah, a quick look at her, and you're not seeing anything. You're also not seeing any like marks or sigils or any type of anything that you can make that connection. Elizabeth, what are you yelling down the hallway?
I'm, hanging out, and I'm looking up. Charlotte, where are you? Charlotte.
You hear her, Dr. Charlotte.
You have to hear that. You know that they need you. I'm going to take her bag out of her hand, and I'm going to sit it down, and I'm going to take both of her hands in mine. Charlotte, look at me.
I am looking at you, Rosalind.
We have to fix this, like we always do.
Fine.
Good. Now get your shit together and let's go.
I'll grab my bag and head back.
I imagine you coming around the corner, and then I'm like, where the hell are you? We need you. She's bleeding. And just, shouting too many details that I can imagine that might be servants somewhere around or something. But I'm just, you need to get here quick. She's bleeding.
I'm coming. She's being attacked spiritually. And I'll put a little bit of hustle in my step. God,
nothing is quite so
it.
good as angry doctoring.
I'm going to give her an "I told you so" face.
So Harry, as you're tending to Jeannie, Elizabetta pulls back and is no longer blocking the door, and we see Dr. Charlotte and Rosalind, Lady Rosalind, come back into the room.
Yeah, I kind of immediately pull back and make room, and it's like, well, she's still bleeding from the ears and nose, and it looks like she's getting.
Right. Go over and examine her.
She's got this, Harry.
I'm imagining, Dr. Charlotte, you come out there, you plop your bag angrily on the bed, pop it open, and you see her bleeding. Let's do a quick smarts check.
Okay.
Lean to Harry. Maybe you should watch your tone with her for a few minutes. Just saying.
Should the -1 be automatically added?
It won't be. So you'll have to add it.
Okay. 4. Can I use a luck to add?
You sure can. Spend the luck, and then that'll counter that out. So you'll be at an even smarts roll.
There we go.
Ooh, 3 successes.
Yeah.
Well done. So let me tell you what the effect will be, Dr. Charlotte, but I need you to tell me how we get there. With about 4 minutes of your attention, the bleeding has stopped both in her nose as well as her ears. That's going to be the first success. So I want you to think about how you stop the bleeding and how effective you are. Second success is you recognize at a clinical level what Harry was recognizing just looking at her, which is the grayness that you're seeing on her skin is a sign of disease, of rot, and you realize that there is a timer on poor Lady Churchill right now, and whatever this is, if this continues or if this escalates, she's not going to survive this. The third thing you notice, and I don't think you witnessed, and I don't think Elizabetha made it clear that she had gotten scratched on her forearm, but as you kind of pull the sheets back a little bit to let's say like is only covering maybe half her torso now, as opposed to being, up to her neck. She's got like a nightgown, but the nightgown's got a wide neck on it. You can see around where her clavicle is an old scar, which you would have noticed. The dress she was wearing at the masquerade ball exposed this part of her skin before. So this, even though this looked like a very old scar, this is new. And it's in the shape of the scales of justice.
Oh,
So how do you stop the bleeding?
Well, she's going to apply pressure using tools and stuff from just a nose firmly to kind of stop the persistent bleeding. It may take a little bit. And then also applying gentle pressure to at least like the ear canal to stop that free flowing, and then yelling at the footmen to get a cold compress.
And without even thinking about it, Dr. Charlotte, you bark out orders to the staff, but I think you realize very quickly, oh, that's right, they left the room.
Well, if I hear her saying that, I'm gonna go to the door and start finding someone and relaying those commands.
Same.
Perfect. Okay, great. So you're gonna head out. Okay. Dr. Charlotte, as you're tending to her, getting very clinical, going back to the base level of your training as a medical doctor, you're able to stop that bleeding. But as you're touching her, there's almost a feeling of static and of electricity. And I need to do an opposed strange check with you. I'm going to roll mine first. And this is a situation where the GM is really hoping you succeed.
Not just the GM.
Okay. We have 2 successes because she's going to turn those 2 luck into a success. You need to beat 2 strange.
I only have 2 dice.
Oh no.
Can I
So
help her somehow? I can imagine that Elizabeta is hovering, not touching, and she's holding her hand, which got scratched, and she's like, "Where were you? Where were you?" And that I do notice that something's going on, and I'm not used to Charlotte being that discombobulated, so I put my hand on Charlotte's back, and I'm like, "You can do this. You can do this."
So before we roll, Elizabeth, when you touch Dr. Charlotte, you feel faint pressure coming into her. And I think if you push back, I can give a +1 here. So go ahead. And now you have 2. Well, here's the problem. You have 2 strange.
yeah.
which is -1 because if you're afraid.
Yeah.
This gives you this positive one. I think what we're doing now is this is going to happen. I don't think you can beat these two, but what we need to see is whether you. Oh, go ahead.
I have 3 strange, so the 2 is with the negative.
All right, so you're going to be back up to 3, so you do have a possibility of resisting this. So let's go ahead and roll. You need to roll 3 strange on all 3 of those die.
Come on.
So this will be a fail. Let me quickly take care of the doom clock.
Shit. Don't take care of the doom clock. That sounds terrifying.
Elizabeth, you are physically thrown back to the point where you stumble. For those of you watching, I want everybody to know that we've never talked about before. There are safety tools in place here. So there are X cards that the table knows how to use. Dr. Charlotte, for you, everything goes dark. And it's not like you're blind. It's like you're alone. And you're standing there in darkness. Almost like you can see yourself alone in this darkness. And there's somebody else, something else in this room, this nondescript, wall-less room with you. Whatever everybody else sees is Dr. Charlotte stand up with a straight back and turn to strike Elizabetha. So I need a brawn check from Dr. Charlotte. You're going to be at a +1 talent die.
Greg, why you got to be so mean?
Why you like this, Craig?
I know. That's good.
Oh, that's ticking up the
except for the
clock.
2 strange.
So this is a good fail. Trust me, you want the doom clock here. You don't want. So we see Dr. Charlotte go to strike Elizabetha. Elizabetha, you pull back naturally, but there's a battle happening here with Dr. Charlotte. So it's kind of a wild like strike, and it maybe even not even targeted at you, and her hand flies past you. You feel the air, but you don't feel the hand because it doesn't quite reach you. Brian, you're able to call out orders, and you turn back just in time to see Dr. Charlotte swinging at Elizabetha. Lady Rosalind, you see all of this play out. I want to find out what you're doing right now.
I'm just gonna yell, Charlotte, what the hell are you doing? And I'll go over and try to put myself between them.
Okay. The only thing that would prevent that from happening is if Elizabetha wouldn't let you. So do you allow Lady Rosalind to get between you?
I am a big scary monster.
I think I'm surprised. I'm stumbling back and she misses me, and this is Charlotte trying to hit me. And that's not right. And I think that I'm still angry. I know this isn't Charlotte. So I just stumble back, and then I think I'm like, no, it's not, let her go, because I think this is Marianne. You don't get Charlotte. And I'm just going to very clumsily kind of leap forward and just try and tackle her.
Okay. Ooh. All right.
You don't get Charlotte. You don't get Charlotte. Charlotte, wake up.
Real quick, Harry, what are you doing? Is this all playing out?
I mean, do I get the sense? I mean, has Charlotte's demeanor changed?
No question.
Okay.
The way she stands is different.
So this is not her. So I'm basically gonna try and get up behind Charlotte and just grab around her. I'm a pretty big guy, just kind of pin her arms to her body so she can't swing and can't get away.
So I think we've got the three of you kind of descending on Dr. Charlotte, not to harm her, but to contain her is what I'm hearing from all the three of you. In the split second before any of you can reach her, you look down and you see Emerson has grabbed onto her leg, and you see Emerson looking up, and she shoves him to the ground. And he falls on his back, and he lets out a sound you've never heard before. It's a gurgling sound that comes out of him. It's the first sound I think you've heard out of Emerson. I think Lady Rosalind, you are in the dominant position here to be able to contain her. So we're going to need an opposed grit roll here, and I'd like you to roll first. Let's see how much grit you get to try to contain Dr. Charlotte.
Not quite my my strong suit, but let's see what we can do here.
Okay, with a strange. You guys see, this is how we do this is how we doom clock.
Greg is just working to get that clock going.
All right.
Roll all of your crappiest stuff.
Real quick, Dr. Charlotte, let me get a grit check with you with an additional talent die, please. Okay. Lady Rosalind, you go to grab Dr. Charlotte, and she takes her hand and puts it right on your face and shoves you to the bed. Take 1 grit damage for me real quick. Your head hits the back of the headboard as she shoves you with a strength that is unfamiliar from her, but familiar in a very unnatural way. All of this action has blocked Elizabeth and Harry from getting to her. Which basically, essentially, unless it stops the two of you, though, Harry, I will have you get behind Dr. Charlotte. So you are physically behind her. Dr. Charlotte, we need another opposed strange check. So I'm going to let our friend roll first. And this is you attempting to resist. She only has 1 success.
Would it be? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Would it be possible? Because I think I can sense what's going on. I know it's jumped, or it's also taken control of Charlotte, and where I was hesitant to put myself at more risk for Lady Churchill, Charlotte's a different thing. I'm thinking, I mean, I've never dealt with this before, so this would be just pure instinct, improvisation, is that I grab my crystal ball with the metal crystal ball in one hand, and I'm just, trying to make contact with Charlotte with the crystal ball, and just try and shove whatever's in her out. Just
got it.
Get out. And I don't know if I could use my deadly divination once per doom quarter. It's different. You may use the power of the crystal ball to divine threats. If an enemy successfully attacks you, you may force them to re-roll that attack at major disadvantage. But I don't know if I could use that in some adjusted manner.
Yeah, we're not going to burn it for the Doom Quarter, so this is going to still be available to you, this Doom Quarter, but I am going to still give you the advantage of that crystal ball. I think that crystal ball in this situation is key, and does amplify your power, so we'll add a skill die. The objective here is we're trying to push her out.
So
it'll be a strange.
Strange. Okay.
Yeah, with a +1.
And you know what the hell? I'm putting in my luck.
Great, +2.
Well, so that's 7, and I'm really angry now. So it's just pure.
That's a lot of dice.
And I can't see what I did.
3 strange.
It's
3 successes.
So good. And a luck.
Mm-hmm.
You touch Dr. Charlotte as we see Lady Rosalind being thrown to the bed, as we see Emerson on the ground, and he almost looks like a turtle. He's so, I think, thrown and confused by what's happening here. as a child would be, right? And you reach out with a force and an intention, and you come and you grab her right here, and you flash in your mind. You can see this energy surrounding Dr. Charlotte in this darkness, and almost like a giant's hand, we see Elizabeth's hand reach and pick up Dr. Charlotte, and just a power explosion comes from your hand and holding Dr. Charlotte, and we see just a energy in this darkened room explode out from your power. As you come back, Dr. Charlotte, I don't think you're quite back enough yet to see this, but the other three of you see just this light bluish energy get shoved out of Dr. Charlotte. And you're seeing an energy, an ethereal bluish energy that's moving and standing. It's in the form of a woman, but you don't know why you know it's a woman. You can the shape of it is ever changing, but it's a form, and you just recognize it immediately as the energy of a woman there. Dr. Charlotte, what's your reaction as you suddenly are no longer in this darkness and you're facing Elizabeth as she's holding your shoulder?
I'm gonna and just hug her tightly.
And I'm hugging you and I'm starting to cry. It's like, don't leave me, don't leave me. And I'm trying to pull you back away from it. Like, you can't leave me. You're not alone. We're together. We're together. It's
right.
Not
together as always.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'll get you out. It's my turn. I'll get you out. And I'm trying to pull you back away from it.
Lady Rosalind, you're on the bed. Jeannie is right next to you. You're physically on the same bed as her. Harry, this is happening directly to your left. You're behind all of it. This energy has been pulled or pushed out of Dr. Charlotte. It's now slowly, methodically moving towards the bed.
Okay. Harry is just going to say, no. Show me where it is. I'll get the bloody knife.
Lady Rosalind?
I'm really just kind of stunned looking at Charlotte for just a moment, but I am going to take a quick glance at Jeannie and see if she is past saving at this point.
So the color is back in her face. The age, you still see some extra crow feet and some extra wrinkles around her lips. The aging seems to have been permanent, but she doesn't have that decayed pallid flesh tone anymore. As this energy moves above you, Lady Rosalind, we start to see tendrils leaving it, heading back towards Jeannie.
I'm going to throw myself over her.
I don't know if that's better.
I really don't either, but poor little defenseless human.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be a strange check. I don't think it'll be opposed.
Okay.
I think you can stall this with at least one success.
Okay. Strange?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Shit.
You cover her and you feel Mary going through your body. You feel her enter your back. You're so cold inside, that cold that you can't get rid of, that cold that is not from outside. It's from your spine, and it's spreading, and it pulls through you back into Jeannie. Go ahead.
I am going to telegraph that sensation to Blackwood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll let him know what's going on.
So what is so it's got to be very basic, right? What is the message? Is the message a relay? Is it a help? Is it what is this?
It's just kind of a quick little flash of vision into this room with all of us and that spirit reaching through me and to Jeannie. Just that quick little vision of the tendrils reaching out, and hopefully he'll understand what we're talking about.
I don't think I want to
know what's causing it.
Yeah, I don't think I want to roll here, and there's a reason for that I won't tell you. This is successful.
Great.
All you hear is his voice. It's very gentle. Run, my dear. Somehow the energy in the room has changed. We no longer see this apparition. It's obvious that it has returned to Jeannie, but Jeannie is just laying in bed with and she's glass-eyed again. Dr. Charlotte, you're holding Elizabetta. She's holding you back. Harry, you're standing there in defiance, trying to somehow communicate and control this thing with no success. You realize that the bedroom door is open again and Churchill is gone. But somehow the volume in the room has dropped.
Charlotte, are you okay?
I'm
Are you here?
as well as I will be. Yes. I'm going to turn back looking at Jeannie and say she has signs of decay, rotting, aging. She has a scar on her clavicle. She doesn't have much. She doesn't have long. The other woman that was also possessed has signs of aging, but not to this extent.
I'm going to be scrambling off the bed during all of this and be like, go, we should leave right now, go. And I'm just shepherding them all out the door.
You're going to have to pull Harry out the door.
Harry, please. We can't let it have you.
It's not going to have me. We're going to put an end to this right now.
Do something fast. It's back in Jeannie.
I will need an opposed grit check between the two of you. Let's have Lady Rosalind go first, please. She's trying to manhandle you. All right, let's get a grit check from you, Harry.
I was bad at it.
All righty.
Oh.
Yeah, this is kind of what I do.
Yeah, you don't need a second success here. Do you want to bank that?
I've
one of those luck
banked, so
okay.
I'll go ahead and do it for points.
She tries to pull you out, Harry, and your feet are stuck, and she cannot physically do it.
Look you straight in the face, and I'm just like, no. Craig, do we know, like from newspaper reports or anything, was there ever a knife or another weapon found at any of the Ripper crime scenes so far?
No, and your knowledge of what the reports have been, and some of the Penny Dreadfuls have been very graphic with illustrations of these murders because it sells papers, right? Yeah. It has definitely been a knife, what a butcher would use to clean a sow, and to prepare a pig. But you don't. There's never been a weapon found.
Okay. Elizabeth, do you have any way to find the knife? It's got to have some, I don't know, energy about it or something. Can you figure out where it is? That's the key to this whole thing.
You're in the hallway, Elizabeth, being shepherded out by Lady Rosalind. You still have communication with her, but physically, unless you're trying to resist her.
No, I'm concentrating on Charlotte.
Okay.
I think I've kind of well, I won't say snapped, but I'm just, I'm holding on to Charlotte and just reassuring Charlotte, reassuring myself, so I don't think I hear Harry if he's still in the room.
Everyone, stop. A moment. We can figure this out. It will be fine. Rudimentaries of spirits and ventral ghosts. A ring of salt might keep it contained for now.
We need to find
At
that
the
knife.
moment, it's murdering our friend Lady Churchill.
That smell of rot has returned.
Who here could have the knife?
Perhaps that did Lady Rosalind end up telling us about Blackwood?
Not yet. It's been a bit eventful since we got back up with you guys.
I don't know. We need to find the knife. It scratched me. Charlotte, can you look at this?
See. Yes.
Scratch me. I think it's just superficial.
Well, it's actually, it looks like a 10-year-old scar on the inside of your forearm.
Okay. Oh, well, it's already closed up.
I don't like that.
This is
I don't like it either. Oh, Charlotte. Oh God.
it's okay, Elizabeth.
I'm gonna sit down here for a moment.
And here I thought the vampire would be the worst part of this evening.
Right. I mean, the other one, but
The other one. Can you be specific?
You'll have to be far more more specific here. We are, in fact, surrounded by vampires, and I actually did go to Blackwood, who asked me to keep an eye on Mr. Lusk, saying that he was key to this whole thing.
Maybe he has the knife.
That would be bloody convenient, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
We should go find him.
I
Where's
do have.
Harry? Where's
I
Harry?
don't know. Harry's in the room still.
Harry's still in the room, and he's trying to. I mean, he knows that Jeannie is running out of time, but he also knows that this spirit is just lashing out. He is going to very quickly take whatever he can find, and he may wind up ripping some of the very expensive sheets, and he'll have to pay for it later, to try and just tie her down to a position that she, in this body, she can't free herself and get away.
I think
You have no
Charlotte is
trouble
gonna-
doing that. You are going to have to shred the bedding, but that's fine. We see Harry tying her down.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea. It might not work, but it might buy us some time if we're able to bind the spirit back. And this is insane, William Ashcroft's invention. We can potentially move spirits as it was intended. So we can, if I'm able to rewire it, it might be a situation where we can have put the helm upon Miss Churchill's head and connect it to an item. And maybe pass the spirit through and trap into a different item.
It's worth a
You,
shot.
Charlotte, you can solve everything.
Absolutely.
I knew you'd solve it. I knew you'd solve it.
I wish we could reach out to the Crescent.
That
They'd
would
be able to help. Well, of course it would.
So
you can do this. You can do this.
It might not work. William may also say no.
Oh, I highly doubt he'll say no to you.
Well, it's not William I'm worried about. We could just
Handle Evelyn.
take it. We don't necessarily
certainly
have time
could.
to wait.
Truth. Let's go.
All right.
So if you try and concentrate on getting her out, then Harry, don't touch her. Don't touch her. It'll jump.
I mean,
We try
Harry's
and
doing
find
what
a
he's
knife.
doing, so yeah.
Oh, I might have some restraints in my bag I left back there, Harry. Use those.
I actually might have brought some. No, I think I left them at home.
And Harry, with a certain amount of uncertainty, looks in the bag.
What does he find, Dr. Charlotte?
He will find like a bunch of like quick medical supplies, but also bid restraints as well, and a bone saw.
Sure. Okay. Leaving that where it is. But I will make use of those restraints. No, I really don't.
So yeah, there's restraints, and it's the cuff type, right, where the leather cuffs with multiple buckles, with metal chains, and so yeah, Harry, you're able to pull that out and start to use those, which are going to be far more effective than any type of knot you were going to be able to tie with those sheets. Harry's doing that. Churchill's gone. It's just the two of you in the room. Harry out in the hallway. Dr. Charlotte has proposed an idea. What's next?
I'm running down to the Tesla machine.
I'm with you.
So you, at one point, William made it clear to you that they are keeping it in their room. So if you're trying to find the machine, that's where you would have to go, is to William and Evelyn's suite.
Okay. Is there any iron bars we can pick up on the way there?
Absolutely. Any made of silver.
No reason.
Why don't you give me a quick luck roll, Dr. Charlotte?
Okay.
Wow.
So
I could have
one, there's a picture frame on one of the side tables in the hallway that you can see has got this very delicate wrought iron design on it. And there is no picture in it, which ties to something that Elizabetha has noticed. You're able to grab that, and very easily, because it's pure iron, you're very easily able to snap and essentially have like an L-shaped piece of iron in your hand. Who's going with Dr. Charlotte? Anybody?
I am.
I'm staying behind. I'm hovering in the door, waiting for Harry and saying, "No, don't touch her. Be careful."
And I don't know why, Elizabetha, but Mary is still here. She is in Lady Churchill, but the presence is contained there for this moment. And for some reason, Harry's going to be okay, but that's still great advice, right? So I'm not contradicting, but you don't feel the need to protect or intervene, right? That he can, you can tell he can do what he's doing. I don't know if she's tired, something's happening, right? We're seeing Lady Churchill's coloring change.
And I think that I'll also add to bring Harry up to speed. Like, Charlotte thought of a way to get her out with science. So she and Lady Rosalind are going to get that. But I think Lady Rosalind said that perhaps Lusk is key. So perhaps Lusk has got the knife. Shall we go see if we can get the knife?
Why you'd have the knife? If anybody had the knife, I'd suspect they're a killer. But we can ask him if he's got anything. You don't have any kind of waves his hands in a way intended to apply general magical woo-woo stuff. Way to find it or figure out where it is, or do the little pendant on a string nonsense to figure out.
Well, I can try the Ouija board again, but I think it was Mary answering before, so I don't know if she'll answer again.
Well, she says we're wasting time and she wants us to find the knife. She should bloody well help us hurry up.
Well, perhaps Lusk has, he's the inspector. Perhaps they found the knife, but they just didn't publicize it.
Well, in that case, we want to ask Aberline.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's the actual inspector. Lusk is like concerned citizen.
Yeah, Lusk has created like this deputized consortium of merchants that are investigating these murders because they feel Scotland Yard is not acting quick enough and they need to protect their interests.
So perhaps we check with the. I don't think it. I'm not sure if it would be a good idea to try and contact Mary again.
All right. Well, we've got to do something. So let's go find Aberline.
And I'm looking up and down the hallways. Are there any servants? And I just look back at the bed with Lady Churchill manacled and the sheets torn up and blood. And I'm like, do we just leave her here? Not making any intention to any move to go back into the room, but just okay, we're gonna leave her like this.
I don't think we want anyone else touching her at this point, do you?
No. So, lock the door. Do you see a key?
I mean, if I can, I will. I don't know if these doors, lock from outside or.
I don't think they would.
Okay.
So, in typical main floor, right? There's always a servant in a corner somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you see them. They seem like understandably discombobulated, though. You can see like some of them are dusting and cleaning when that wouldn't be done at this time of day. There's a lot of they're like, what's going on here, right? Happening. I want to cut to Dr. Charlotte and Lady Rosalind. You get to William and Evelyn's door.
Okay. And the whole time as we're walking there, I'm going to have Emerson beside me. He's like, I am so sorry if I hurt you. My precious boy.
What's his reaction?
Confusion.
Yeah.
Confusion. And as soon as we get to the door, I'm gonna bang, 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 bang.
Who is it? It's Evelyn's voice.
Evelyn, I need you. Bang, 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 bang.
I'll find you later.
Let me.
Now. Not later.
Go away.
Please, Evelyn, we need your help.
I said go away.
Well, we're not going to, so you might as well open the door.
Bang, 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 bang.
I'm going to try the door.
Unlocked.
I'm going to open the door and step in.
It's dark. Shades have been pulled. There's no sunlight. Hey, Dag, thanks for bringing everybody over. I appreciate it. Wow, 34 people. Dag, this is very nice. We're playing Shiver Gothic. You've come in at a good point here. You throw the door open, Lady Rosalind. It is total darkness. The shades have been pulled so tightly that no daylight is seeping through in this room. Takes a moment for you, not as long as others, for your eyes to adjust. The big thing you're looking for is that machine, which you do see in the back corner. You see the bed. William is on it, laying there. You see the back of a chair facing away from you. And we have tubes running from William's forearm and nose, running to the chair.
Shit. Charlotte, help William. I'm going to go to the chair.
Dr. Charlotte?
Competing. It's just competing things in her head right now. She's going to go to the bed.
So as the two of you rush in, after your second step in the room, you see the back of Evelyn's head rise up from the chair. Her right hand reaches behind her and grabs the head of the chair and throws the chair as if it was made of a balsa wood. And the chair goes flying across the room and shatters against the wall. It actually doesn't shatter. The chair is so heavy, it just marks and dents the wall and just lands with a thud. She's standing there and she turns and you can see the tubes that are leaving William, going from arm to arm into hers and nose to nose. The other tube is in her nose. And she grabs the tubes and she rips them out of her body. And she looks at you and she said, I said I would find you later. Now
Yes,
go.
Evelyn. But I need the
we're here
machine right now.
We
Yes.
have to use it.
I already
But
know
this
that you're a
isn't
fae,
really
and
interesting.
we just need the machine.
This is very, very
Like, I am
interesting
fascinated
development.
about what's
I
happening.
really want to study all of this.
But we need the machine.
As of right now, we've got something else we need to accomplish, and we need the machine. And you
Dire.
can go back to doing whatever the hell it is you're doing here.
She aggressively steps towards the two of you, one step. And she says,
wouldn't do that.
go.
Oh, darling. I was
Come
really hoping
now.
to do this peaceably.
We need the machine. Yes or no, Evelyn?
We'll take your name off our list.
You are quite high on the list right now.
Very, like 2, I think.
As she
You got
leaps,
One.
towards Dr. Charlotte, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. You do
Shit.
not
Oh,
want to
no.
miss the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
No.
In the year of 1888, under a moonlit sky so late, Harry hunts the shadows where the monsters lie in wait. Elizabeth's crystal ball reveals the hidden truth. She sees the threads of fate in the echoes of her youth. Dr. Charlotte's mad machines, sparked by a lightning's kiss. In her lab of darkened dreams, she concocts her twisted bliss. Lady Rosalie in satin, with a mask of pure disguise, holds secrets in her gaze behind her emerald eyes. At the Churchill country estate, where the darkness whispers fate, a Halloween masquerade, where fears and masks cascade. In the Gothic halls they roam, far from Whitechapel's tomb. The hunters and the haunted, beneath the crimson moon. In the mansion's haunted halls, where the shadows come alive, the whispers of the Whitechapel murders keep the night deprived. Harry wields his silver blade in search of beasts unseen, while Elizabeth's visions dance in spectral silver sheen. Dr. Charlotte's laugh rings mine through the midnight's chilling air. Her creations stir and shudder with a manic, deadly flare. Lady Rosalie glides through with a grace that chills the bone. In the galler's eerie glow, they stand together, yet alone. where the shadows come alive. The whispers of the Whitechapel murders keep the night deprived. Harry wields his silver blade in search of beasts unseen, while Elizabeth's visions dance in spectral silver sheen. Dr. Charlotte's laugh rings wide through the midnight's chilling air. Her creations stir and shudder with a manic, deadly flare. Lady Rosalie glides through with a grace that chills the bone. In the gallery's eerie glow, they stand together, near alone. The gallery's eerie glow, they stand together, yet alone. In the year of 1888, under a moonlit sky so late, Harry hunts the shadows where the monsters lie in wait. Elizabeth's crystal ball reveals the hidden truth. She sees the threads of fate in the echoes of her youth. Dr. Charlotte's mad machines, sparked by a lightning's kiss, in her lab of darkened dreams, she concocts her twisted bliss. Lady Rosalie in satin, with a mask of pure disguise, holds secrets in her gaze behind her emerald eyes. At the Churchill country estate, where the darkness whispers fate, a Halloween masquerade, where fears and masks cascade. In the Gothic halls they roam, far from Whitechapel's tomb. The hunters and the haunted, beneath the crimson moon. In the mansion's haunted halls, where the shadows come alive, the whispers of the Whitechapel murders keep the night deprived. Harry wields his silver blade in search of beasts unseen, while Elizabeth's visions dance in spectral silver sheen. Dr. Charlotte's laugh rings wide through the midnight's chilling air. Her creations stir and shudder with a manic, deadly flare. Lady Rosalie glides through with a grace that chills the bone. In the gallery's eerie glow, they stand together, yet alone. Mansion's haunted halls, where the shadows come alive, the whispers of the Whitechapel murders keep the night deprived. Harry wields his silver blade in search of beasts unseen, while Elizabeth's visions dance in spectral silver sheen. Dr. Charlotte's laugh rings wide through the midnight's chilling air. Her creations stir and shudder with a manic, deadly flare. Lady Rosalie glides through with a grace that chills the bone. In the gallery's eerie glow, they stand together, near alone. The gallery's eerie In the year of 1888, under a moonlit sky so late, Harry hunts the shadows where the monsters lie in wait. Elizabeth's crystal ball reveals the hidden truth. She sees the threads of fate in the echoes of her youth. Dr. Charlotte's mad machines, sparked by a lightning's kiss, in her lab of darkened dreams, she concocts her twisted bliss. Lady Rosalind in satin, with a mask of pure disguise, holds secrets in her gaze behind her emerald eyes. At the Churchill country estate, where the darkness whispers fate, a Halloween masquerade, where fears and masks cascade. In the Gothic halls they roam, far from Whitechapel's tomb, the hunters and the haunted, beneath the crimson moon. In the mansion's haunted halls, where the shadows come alive, the whispers of the Whitechapel murders keep the night deprived. Harry wields his silver blade in search of peace.
As we see Evelyn launching herself towards Dr. Charlotte, we're going to cut to Harry and Elizabetha. You guys are racing towards Aberlin. Is that what I understood?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. So you get to his door.
Okay, I will knock urgently.
Who is it?
It's Harry Colgate, sir.
Come in.
Okay. Open the door.
You open the door.
Mhm.
Unlike the other room,
Right.
the shades are open, the curtains are open. There's light flooding in. You see Aberlin at his desk. He's got paper in front of him, a quill in his hand, and he looks up and he goes, "Can I help you, sir?"
I apologize for disturbing you, sir, and this is going to sound like a very odd question, but I cannot impress upon you enough the importance of it. Have you at any point found anything you suspect to be the murder weapon in any of the Ripper murders?
I'm sorry?
I think the question is clear, sir. I know you don't want to answer that, but
Do you know anything
Yeah,
about these murders, sir?
I am attempting to find out. What I can tell you is that you're a man of science, are you not?
Well, you need to explain yourself, sir.
Shall I say? There are things afoot this weekend that are not explicable by the laws of science. And I believe they are closely tied to the series of murders that you're investigating. And I believe that if we can get some crucial information, we may be able to put a stop to not only the madness that's been hitting here this weekend, but also the murders themselves.
So you're telling me that the murder of Lusk's wife is somehow tied to the Whitechapel?
I believe so, yes.
We have a much deeper conversation to happen, but no, to answer your question, there's been no murder weapon retrieved. We believe it's a knife of some sort, a carving, maybe a butcher's implement, but that's as far as we know.
Then let me ask you one other thing, sir, if I may, and your answer will never leave this room. If I were to tell you that the Ripper murderer was at this estate this weekend, who do you think it would be?
Well, at this point, Lady Churchill. Cut to the bedroom. All right, Dr. Charlotte. Now, the way combat works here, there is no initiative. I will dictate as the director who goes next. It has initiative as she's flying through the air at you, Dr. Charlotte. there is no defense rolls, but what you do have is you do have a CR, a challenge rating. Challenge ratings are 1, which means in order for them to do something to you, they need at least 1 success. She is attacking you, attempting to attack you. But I want to talk about what you see, because as she is flying through the air, we see her changing. And the most notable thing you notice at first is a widening of her lower face and jaw area. And you're seeing her fingers extend to these sharp points. These are not nails or claws per se. Literally the flesh of her fingers are stretching out to a sharpness as she is swiping at you. So she's going to try to hit you. You have a CR of 1. This is going to be a grit roll for her. She needs 1 success, which she does not get. So for those of you watching, funky dice game, the attributes each have a side on the die. So this particular changeling has a grit of 3. So she's rolling 3 dice. On each of those die, there's a 1 in 6 chance she'll roll a grit symbol. She did not roll any grit symbols, so this was not successful. Charlotte, how do you avoid getting pounced on by our changeling?
I duck and weave. Duck, weave.
And she lands on her feet, and it is almost like feline in the way that she lands. It's soft. You don't even hear her feet hit the wood. Dr. Charlotte, you're a little discombobulated, so I'm going to go to Lady Rosalind. Lady Rosalind, you're standing there. You see that she has missed her, but she has transformed her. As she opens up her maw, you can see rows of shark-like teeth in her mouth.
Beautiful. I'm going to grin real big back at her, and my teeth are also going to lengthen. And then I am just going to launch myself at her, basically attempting to tumble end over and end to get her as far away from Charlotte as I possibly can. Be more threatened by me. Don't worry about that. Well, that little thing, the little guy back there, don't worry about that. You just look at me.
So as you launch towards her, this is a special attack that you have. Can we read it off real quick?
We most certainly can. This is my tier 2 blood drinker ability. Your unarmed attack deals 2 pierce damage as you bite your foes. If you successfully deal damage with this attack, you heal wounds equal to that damage. You don't heal wounds if the damaged enemy has no blood.
Okay. So as you launch towards her, almost transforming in your own way, and even though physically we're only seeing the teeth elongate in your mouth, there's a presence that changes and transforms as you hungrily launch towards her. She also has a CR of 1, so we're going to need a grit check. You need to roll 1 grit symbol in order to hit her.
Grit. I don't like the grit.
You got to stop skipping arm day.
I know.
Oh.
I'm weird. No, come on, I'm weird.
So we failed. We also, in our failure, rolled a strange check. That ticks my clock. My doom clock ticks a little bit closer.
Yay.
As you launch yourself towards her, Lady Rosalind, she grabs you by the neck and stops you. And you are standing there, and her arm is longer now. It's almost extended by half, and it's doing that. You're hearing her bones crack as she elongates and pushes you away. Dr. Charlotte,
I am going to be holding my arm out towards Charlotte, extending my hand, hoping that she gets my meaning.
I get your meaning, but I'm going to run over to the bed, and I'm going to put the sharp metal end to William's throat and say, I will murder him in cold blood if you do not drop her. And I know you need him. I am not sure for what, but I will make sure that it doesn't happen.
I need a heart check from you. I want you. You're at a +1 because of the iron at his throat. So add a skill die for me.
Shit, you're so cool.
Because I'm still afraid. It equals out.
It cancels it as out, right? So you're at a -1 because of your fear.
We'll use my luck roll to add.
Okay, so ultimately end you at a +1.
Come on.
Evelyn and her skin now is kind of like a bluish aqua green. I don't know if you realized it, Lady Rosalind, but your feet weren't touching the ground, and she drops you. And she pulls back. Go away. Leave him.
I am taking the machine.
Take it.
Rosalind, grab the machine.
I got it. Yeah, I'll start moving towards it. I'm going to glare as I go.
So it's still on that primitive wooden wheeled cart. It's covered by this drop cloth that William has kept over this machine. As you go over to it, there is an unbelievable draw of tension, of push and pull happening between the form of Evelyn now and Dr. Charlotte. What is Emerson doing?
Emerson is right by my side in front of me and watching the woman, watching Evelyn.
She's locked eyes with you. It gives you a bit of a tingly sensation as she does this. And Lady Rosalind, you're able to take the cart unobstructed out the door. Aberline says to you, Harry, I would have to assume Lady Churchill at this point.
No, she's a victim in this as much as the rest.
She's a murderer, sir. A woman has died.
Yes. Her body is a murderer. The mind moving that body was not hers. And I know you're going to think me mad for saying it.
We can have this conversation in the next day or two when we get back to London. I don't understand how I can help you now, though. I'm documenting everything. And you heard the orders. No one is to leave this house until I sort all of it with my bad accent.
Sorry to trouble you, sir. And I will bow and head out because he has nothing to give me right now.
Elizabeth, are you just watching and tagging along? What are we doing?
Yeah, for the moment, I'm watching, trying to sense if there's anything going on, but I'm following Harry's lead here. And if we're going to go the moment that we're out of the room, if the door closes, I'll look at him. Do we try Lusk now?
I suppose we might as well.
Well, you see across the open stairwell. You're on kind of a balcony here on the second floor. As you look across there, you see Lady Rosalind coming out with the cart at the room directly across from you. Just right, Lady Rosalind.
Okay.
Oh, I think they found the machine. They got the machine. Where's? Oh, they're gonna need something to put Mary in. Do we know
Here,
whether?
watch this. I'm going back after Charlotte now that I know somebody's sitting there with the machine.
Well, they're across the way from you, but yeah, they have visibility to the
Drop
machine.
it. Oh, great. Okay, I'll be right back.
You come back into the room and you have this standoff, Lady Rosalind, that you're seeing. Dr. Charlotte, are you standing hold?
It's standing hold until now, Evelyn. I know we've gotten off on the wrong foot 5 times during this party. Let us leave without hesitation, and we are good.
Keeping her eyes locked on you, Dr. Charlotte, she starts to change back. You see her limbs becoming human proportions again. You see her pointed claw flesh retract back to the finely manicured hands of Evelyn Ashcroft. She takes her jaw as it changes, and she kind of, you hear a click. This isn't over, Dr. Charlotte, and this is the last time you will ever touch William.
You are such a fascinating subject. But yes. Is it too presumptuous of me to ask what's happening here, or I'll just go?
Maybe later, Charlotte. Maybe later.
Yes.
Great.
Well,
the two of
Evelyn,
you-
you have an amazing rest of your morning.
Enjoy your spa treatment. Have a great day.
All right, so we cut out to two of you on one side of this stairwell and two of you on the other side as you are both leaving bedroom suites.
So as soon as Charlotte and Rosalind get back to the machine, I'm going to sort of take Elisabetta's arm and just start moving towards Lusk's room, because Harry feels like time is of the essence here. So it's like as soon as they've got whatever science nonsense they're going to do over there back under their control, that's their problem.
I'm looking back at a moment like, do I help them or that? No, I'll go with Harry. Oh, okay, but
Do you need to stay with them? When you kind of hesitate.
No,
do they need.
No, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Okay, then come on.
So the two of you extend down. He's about 4 doors down on the same floor. So you start heading that way, which is the opposite direction from the Churchill bedroom. Dr. Charlotte, or actually the original Lusk bedroom. So wait a minute, I got to think about this. Hold on. This is all. She's in the Lusk bedroom. You are not headed towards Lusk's room, because that's where this happened.
Oh,
right.
Right. It was in.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't know where Lusk is. So I think it takes a moment where you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's Lusk's room. He is coming up the steps off the first floor. If you look down over the stairwell, you see Lusk coming off the main floor, working his way up the stairwell.
Right. I'm going to start making my way down towards him.
Okay. Dr. Charlotte and Rosalind, you are now taking the cart with this machine and going to what I remember to be the Lusk bedroom, where Lady Churchill is lay there. As you go down the first flight, you're meeting him mid-step, and Lusk goes, excuse me, as he tries to navigate past you.
I thought that Lady Churchill was in her room.
No, if I remember correctly, I think we left her in the Lusk bedroom.
I think we brought her back.
Yeah,
we did. Okay.
She and Lord Churchill went back to their room.
All right. So this is why we spent 4 weeks between sessions. So that means that the Churchill bedroom is another flight of stairs up. So it's going to take a little bit of effort for Dr. Charlotte and Rosalind to get that thing up the steps. The two of you have the capability of doing that, though. So yes, Harry and Elizabeth, you can head towards Lusk bedroom. That was a multiverse where he was coming up the steps, I guess.
These things happen. Yeah.
These things happen. So you head towards the bedroom.
I can see him coming up the stairs.
No, he's not. He's not there. Just kidding.
Weird double exposure going on.
Yeah.
So I will knock again. I think more gently this time.
And the door opens, and Lusk stands there, and he goes, "Harry, it is. Yes.
Yes, sir.
How is Lady Churchill? Is she being confined?
Yes, she's restrained right now, sir. May we come in, sir? This is a matter of some.
My wife's body is in here. I would prefer not.
Yes,
sir.
I know this will be difficult for you to believe, sir. But I have reason to believe that, well, I think it's certainly safe to say that Lady Churchill was not in her right mind when what happened. But I think I know why it is happening, and we need to put a stop to it here. I have reason to believe that the murder weapon for the Ripper murders, and perhaps the Ripper themselves, are in this estate this weekend, and we need to find it. Do you have any information that could help us do that.
What type of insanity are you talking about? As I stand in front of the body of my wife. I need a heart check from you.
Okay.
Harry.
All right. I will put a luck into that. Da-da-da. Phew.
He is hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
He is physically now moving into your space, and blocking the door
Harry
to
does
his
not
bedroom.
move back.
Sir,
Harry says, "Sir, I understand you're in a state of distress and grief. This is, you'll forgive me for saying so, larger than you. This is a bigger problem. There are more lives at stake. And if you will not help me save them, I will do what I must."
my focus now is on what's happening here and the death of my wife by the hands of Lady Churchill. If you have Whitechapel business, go talk to Abilene.
I did. He sent me here.
He's going to put his hand on your chest to try to push you away so he can close the door.
Okay. I do not allow myself to be pushed.
Okay, he's not strong enough to push you.
Mm-hmm.
Sir,
Sir,
I insist.
There is something you know that you are not sharing, sir.
He's going to try to close the door on you.
Okay. Would you like a grit roll to stop
You
that,
are, he is not a powerful man.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I will just kind of put a hand up on the door and say, "Sir, I understand you're doing your best to put an end to this, but you are not the police."
He recognizes the disparity, that he is not going to be able to physically overpower you.
Mm-hmm.
He turns and he scrambles, and he's scrambling around the room, and he picks up one of the lamps, and he's just standing there with one of the lamps. It's not lit. It does have kerosene in it, but there's no fire.
Mm-hmm.
Leave now. And he's holding it like threatening.
Sir,
The body is covered on the bed.
mm-hmm. You are not yourself, and I don't blame you for this. Naomi, do you have something?
I think that I would like to try my illusionist power,
Ooh. Talk to me.
which is I can create a minor visual illusion that can distract, confuse, create light, make a foul odor, or make a strange noise. And I think that I want to back Harry up, and using this power, I don't know, somehow make the body move. Or seem to move, and at the same time give an effect to my voice, perhaps projecting it towards the body. Just, and like tell him where the knife is.
Okay. So mechanically, what do we need to do here? This is
I
amazing.
don't need to roll. Well, if you want to make a more complex illusion, describe what you will, and then I need to make a skill check. So this might need a skill check.
Yeah, I think this will need a skill check because we're really doing double duty here, right? We're giving the illusion of the body of poor Miss Price sitting up, and then your a ventriloquist projection of your voice. So do give me a strange check.
Yeah.
Now, is this once per doom quarter? What's the restriction on this illusion?
This is not per doom quarter, but it does. Each illusion ticks up the doom clock. So to be quite honest, it's probably 2. So probably 2.
This is going to be 2, just so you know.
Okay. So strange, and I really want this to work. So I'm adding my luck.
If you're holding onto your crystal ball, you also get an additional die.
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's another die. So it's going to be +2 with the luck.
Come on, Naomi.
Oh, that's 4 successes.
Which is not a guarantee whether we're guessing the right guy, but I'm trying it.
So I think only Lusk sees this.
I was going to say, it's relevant to me to know if Harry sees this.
Yeah,
too.
you don't see this, but you hear Elizabetha say these words, "Show me where the knife is." What Lusk experiences and Elizabetha, what you visually see is a doubling of Susanna Price's body. The corpse is laying in the bed covered. But then there's a second image of her sitting up and the sheet falling off of her and her head turning to her husband. And you don't hear the words even in your own head. You watch the words and hear them come from her mouth.
Show him the knife.
Lusk drops the lamp and falls back against the wall, trying to get as far away from the corpse of his wife. Harry, you're seeing this happen. Something is scaring him.
I heard her say it, so I have some sense of
but he's not focused on Elizabetha. He is focused on the corpse on his body, on his bed, as he falls back. My God, Samantha.
More things are at stake here than you know. Tell me what you know.
There's a small messenger bag on the table next to where he is. And he throws it at Elizabetha's feet. And he is white as a sheet. Doesn't even look as he throws it and is focused on the bed.
So I'll just keep watching him and give Elizabetha a moment to...
Yeah, I jump down and open it to see what's inside.
It's something you've seen before. It was in your vision, is that ivory-handled butcher's carving knife.
Harry, we got it. We got it.
Where'd you find that knife, Mr. Lusk? Or is it yours?
He does not even recognize that you're speaking words. He's staring at what he thinks is his dead wife.
All right, well, if you've got it, then I will just back out the door and close it. And look at anything else in there, any diary or notes or anything.
Literally the only thing in the bag, it is wrapped. The throwing of it peeled back the wrapping. That's where you saw the blade and where you saw the ivory handled. But no, it's just been wrapped in cloth. It's heavy.
I'm not touching it, but I just hold it open. I think we found the weapon. We found the. Is he the Ripper?
I don't know. But let's find out what we can do to put this ghost at rest first, and then he'll have some explaining to do. And I say we start hustling back towards the Churchill's bedroom.
So you go to the flight of stairs. At the top of the stairs, you get to the base of this stair going from the second to the third level of this estate. At the top, you can see Charlotte and Rosalind kind of getting this wooden cart with this machine up to the very top. You're at the base of the stairs. They're at the top of the stairs working towards Churchill bedroom.
I'm going to head up there and try and accelerate the process.
Okay.
Because, just kind of put my back into it and take most of the weight.
You get back to the... Go ahead.
Charlotte, and I'm running up after them. I'm saying, Charlotte, I think we found the Ripper's weapon. I think we got it. We got it.
Oh, that might be perfect to put a possessed soul into. Ironic. Is it soul?
The bag again. I don't know if
I think that's exactly the wrong thing to do in this particular case.
That's fair.
Lusk had it.
Does that mean Lusk is the Ripper?
That's a question for a later day, I think.
Well, why didn't he answer when you asked him that?
He was a bit put out. And I just kind of look at Elizabetha and I don't say
Understandable.
anything.
He did just lose his wife. Poor man.
So sad.
Don't know why anybody would mess with him and make him feel even worse.
Well, anywho, I'm going to grab Elizabetha's hand and say, oh, you're doing so fantastic.
Together, it's the two of us. We help each other.
And Harry kind of looks over at Lady Rosalind. It's kind of like...
We look at each other like... I guess
what are we?
We're just extraneous, darling.
So the four of you take the cart and this knife, and you go towards the Churchill bedroom. The door is open. No, it's closed. You guys close it. The door is closed. You open the door. I feel like, Harry, you're first. Feel like you're the one in the lead. You don't have the cart. You don't have the weapon. She's not on the bed anymore.
God damn it.
She is pressed against the far wall above the bed and laying on the wall as if that's the center of gravity in the room. Her nightdress has been lifted and is now around her neck, exposing her entire body. And you're seeing a series of scratch marks on her abdomen and on her stomach as you stand there.
As soon as I see that happening, eyes focused on her face, I'm just going to say, "We have the knife."
And I've got credits.
Damn it!
No! What?
No. In the year of 1888, under a moonlit sky so late, Harry hunts the shadows where the monsters lie in wait. Elizabeth's crystal ball reveals the hidden truth. She sees the threads of fate in the echoes of her youth. Dr. Charlotte's mad machines, sparked by a lightning's kiss, in her lab of darkened dreams, she concocts her twisted bliss. Lady Rosalie in satin, with a mask of pure disguise, holds secrets in her gaze behind her emerald eyes. At the Churchill country estate, where the darkness whispers fate, a Halloween masquerade, where fears and masks cascade. In the Gothic halls they roam, far from Whitechapel's tomb. The hunters and the haunted, beneath the crimson moon. In the mansion's haunted halls, where the shadows come alive, the whispers of the Whitechapel mirrors keep the night deprived. Harry wields his silver blade in search of beasts unseen, while Elizabeth's visions dance in spectral silver sheen. Dr. Charlotte's laugh rings mine through the midnight's chilling air. Her creations stir and shudder with a manic deadly flare. Lady Rosalie glides through with a grace that chills the bone. In the gallows' eerie glow, they stand together, yet alone.
Back. So I've been running APs on this channel. It's got to be 4 years now, at least. I have never had more chatter of between cast members during credits than I did. The four of them were yelling and talking over each other. A lot going on. To your point in the chat, yes, I am the real monster. Brian, I did not intend to end at this point. Of course, I don't intend for anything, right? I'm following you guys as we go. But I mean, good Lord, you throwing the door open and that scene of Lady Churchill pressed against the wall and you saying we have the knife, like that's that's a roll credits moment. So
I'm sorry. I'll stop saying cool things. And
it
cool
was
things.
amazing. It was
No
absolutely
saying cool
amazing.
stuff. You have to do all the cool stuff in the first hour, so he doesn't have an excuse to cut us after that.
So on the channel, we like to do thoughts, stars, and wishes. Thoughts is what's going on? How did this go? Any ideas about where we are, what's happening, the system, anything we want to talk about there? And this is strictly from the player's perspective. The characters are done once the credits roll. And then we like to talk about stars. When during the episode did things work? What really sticks with you? Days from now, when someone asks you about the session, what would you tell them about? What would you retell? And then wishes gives me an idea from my players, what they're hoping for, either more of something that they've been getting or something they haven't been getting enough of that they'd like to see more of. So I think I'm going to start with you, Naomi, because again, this was another huge episode, I think, for you. There was a lot of stuff happening here. So let's start with thoughts.
Thoughts. I think Lusk is Lusk the Ripper, or did he somehow come across the knife? I really don't know. So, and again, he's somehow key. So how is Blackwood?
Blackwood was
tied up
clear.
in this?
Yeah.
So, and Blackwood still, and I don't know. I can't really piece it together because how come? Who orchestrated Mary to come here? So to be quite honest, I've just got a lot of questions and I can't, and that's my wish. I'd say I can't wait to start seeing them come together.
Well, and one thing I want to remind you guys of is that if you remember the original couple that brought this, they're still here. They tried to leave and didn't make it out. So it's one thing I want you to keep in your back pocket that might be worth a conversation to get an understanding of where the locket came from, what drove them here. So you may find some answers there.
Can you imagine that after interrogating Lusk?
You've been pretty busy, in fairness.
So I'd say it's just somehow it ties together, but to be quite honest, I'm just enjoying the ride, and I have no idea. So I'm with my character, just putting one step in front of the other, and go, letting things happen and doing stuff and seeing where it leads us. So, but I am glad that I get to give the first star, because the first star has to be Charlotte's making the link. Like, hey, can't we use the machine? From William, and I saw your face, Craig, and I think it was just all of us. It's just like, this is so perfect.
Chekhov's machine.
Yeah, I mean, it was that for me was the star of the moment, and everything that I'm just going to keep on going with stars. That entire interaction, etc. But yeah, that for me, and the look on your face, and I think reflected in all of us, that was just like, oh wow.
Yeah, that was a hell of a connection that you made, Dika. A hell of a connection, and it was something that I had there that I did not expect anybody to grab. So, but if anybody was going to, it was probably going to be you. So well done on that. What are you wishing for, Naomi? What do you want more of? What are you not getting enough of?
Well, more of what we had today. I'd say this is just, I think we all got to shine in our own way. Just playing off, making the links between the various plots. And I realized that's, you lining it up and us knocking them down. So that's, at the moment, just more, and very cliche soon. But
we should look at calendars, because I've enjoyed this back-to-back week here. So I'm up to maybe seeing if we can't push episode 8 a little bit sooner. Amy, thoughts, stars, and wishes. Amy.
Oh man, I love this game so much. It's just it's like it was made for me. Like, this is my kind of game, very much through and through, and my kind of character, and I really just dig it, man. I love Blackwood. He's such an asshole, and I think that makes him a little more intriguing, at least for someone like me.
Have you disobeyed him by allowing Harry to do what he has done, and does that matter?
So it matters, because she really doesn't well, I guess it's she wants the attention in a positive light, but not in the negative light. She doesn't want to draw his ire, obviously, because he is he could kill us all right here, right now, and nobody would ever know. So you definitely don't want too much of his attention. But if you can get that positive attention on your side, then I think you might have a chance. So I don't really know. It's kind of one of those, oh, do I, don't I, what do I owe him? But then also, what do I owe these people as well, too, other than Charlotte? So I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm really excited. I love this game.
This is Amy, not Lady Rosalind. Amy is Lusk the Ripper.
I think so. And I kind of like the idea of him being the Ripper too, because, historically he was, working against the Ripper, and what perfect ruse to cover being the murderer as faking a hunt for the murderer, that's just great. So yes, I think he's the Ripper, and I can't wait to see if I'm right or wrong. So it's gonna be great.
If that's the case, what does that mean that he is under the protection of Blackwood then?
Gosh, I'm not sure yet. I don't know. And I think that's one of the best things about this game is the fact that I don't know. Normally, you guys are very well aware of the fact that I don't like horror. And, there are a multitude of reasons for that. But one of them is because it tends to be predictable. I can see what's going to happen, and that's boring. And with this game, I have no idea what is the ultimate big plan of all of it, and how it all ties in together. I've got nothing, and that might be my favorite part, is that I got nothing.
What really clicked for you in this episode?
Oh man, it seems like this game has clicked since the first episode. We all kind of work, we work really well together. Our characters complement each other really well. So I don't think there's anything extra that's clicked. It's just the continuation of that kind of synchronicity that we all kind of have together. And nothing has really stood out to me yet, other than I was like, help, and he was like, no, and that's the only thing that I got so far. Thanks.
All right, so let's talk wishes. What do you want more of? What have you not gotten enough of that you hope to see?
Oh, wishes. I can't wait to not mark some names off that kill list. That's what I want to do tonight. Oh man, I just one by one, check. I cannot wait. But I also want to give my star tonight to Brian as well, too, for kind of keeping us all a little more grounded and a little more human. Rosalind doesn't really know Elizabetha that much, but she does know Charlotte. And so really that's the only person that she's really close with during all of this. Well, if you left those two to their own devices, it just would not end well. They very much have to be reminded of what they're doing sometimes, and just because they can doesn't mean they should. But so I like the fact that Harry is like, no, because we just walked out, we're like, oh, you're siphoning some sort of life force from this person. All right, well, have a good time, see you later. We go, obviously we're not the most in touch with our humanity, so it is really nice to have Brian bring that kind of counterbalance.
Yeah, and I feel like Harry has the highest stakes as things are playing out right now because of his close connection to this family. And I believe the choices that Brian's making with Harry in that respect. There's a little bit of containment, he understands the power that the three of you bring, but I appreciate the focus there as well. So I love that star. Dika, I think we have a very clear understanding of our twins.
Yes, it's a parasitic relationship, it seems like.
Thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Thoughts? No idea what the hell's going on.
Really?
I've gotten more because in Endgame itself, I'm focusing on like what Charlotte is trying to figure out. Like she doesn't care about the chapel. She doesn't care about the murders that's happening to the women. She cares about what's happening to William.
Why? Why have you found a way for Charlotte to care?
Because she takes precedence. She cares more about other scientific minds than typical butchery.
Right.
So he is the only one in this like atmosphere that truly understands what it means to be within the sciences. It's not just like a hobby. It's like a way of life. Like you get me.
Yep. I believe that completely. Lusk is the Ripper? Yes or no?
Oh yes, Shanika, I definitely think Lusk is for sure the Ripper. And it's just, well, no, I don't think he's a Ripper. I think he's one of the, what is it called? Sleuge? Like the people that's like really into like crimes and stuff like that. And he just stumbled across the blade. So I don't think, if he is not the Ripper, he is for sure connected to it in some way.
So if your theory is correct, I think one of the big questions out there, because another thing we've discovered is that Aberline does not know of the existence of this weapon. So the question would come to, why is he keeping that from Aberline in particular and Scotland Yard in general? I think that's an interesting question, right? So whether he is in fact the murderer or not, or the Ripper or not, both of those create a whole new set of questions, which I think is interesting. Stars, what clicked for you, Dika?
Oh my God, it's clicked since we just all started. But I wanna get, because of course everyone steals my stars at first, but Elizabeth came out in the end and ruined Lusk's life completely, and I loved every moment of it.
That man,
and that man is broken. Amy, fantastic job.
It was really cool, Naomi, and it's something that was a use of that power I not would have thought of. Nate in the chat gave you the star as well. Like that was pretty damn cool.
Like, it was great.
it was awesome.
What do you want more of, and what are you missing that you'd like to see?
Okay, I gotta see Harry actually fight. That's at least one. Except for the young ladies, they are putting themselves in positions that they might not want to be in, but they find themselves there. And
he is our Slayer.
Yeah, right. But he's like the most human one out of all of us. So it's fascinating watching him not even lift an entire finger. He's like talking to the people.
Yep.
So for sure that, and then figure out how the hell do I break this connection with William and Evelyn? Because I think we're on her list now.
Most definitely.
both
We're
ways,
on a view list, darling. Who's got to be on so many at this point?
All right, Brian, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Wow. I mean, first off, this was amazing, and I'm very angry at you for cutting us off when you did, even though it was a good ending. Man, I feel like I think there's probably a 60-70% chance that Lusk is the Ripper, and if not, I am going to be delighted to see him explain to Aberline how he came to be in possession of this knife and why he didn't mention it. That's great. Obviously there are many plot threads going on here. Harry just kind of has to be focused on, all right, this is the one that is killing people right now, so I need to deal with this first.
Yep.
But there's, I could spend, another 6 months of playtime dealing with all the stuff that comes out of this house.
Between the machine and the knife, do you think Harry thinks you've got what you need? How much confidence is Harry walking into this room with right now?
I mean, Harry always acts like he has confidence, whether he actually has it or not. I think the knife is clearly a key on some degree. We just have to find out if this thing will talk to him and tell him, do you want us to break it? Do you want us to use it to kill? What do you want? He's a typical man in that respect. Just tell me what you want. But as for the machine,
he's great with women.
Yeah, for sure. As for the machine, I have literally no idea what that does. Basically, it sounded like Dr. Charlotte was saying, "Oh, I have this machine that I can," and Harry's like, "Sure, do that." So I feel like Charlotte knows what she's doing, and if she says the thing can do the thing, then the thing can do the thing. So
what I find very interesting about this is that Charlotte helped perpetuate the idea that this machine works, but Charlotte knows that the demonstration was a farce. So it's super interesting that she has faith in this machine at some level, or maybe it's just her faith in William. I found that really interesting about her latching onto the machine because, full disclosure, pulling the GM screen back, when I built this, I had purposely said, I am going to let the players decide if this machine works or not. I don't want to know. And Dika made a very clear indication that that she was perpetuating the farce with this. So it's like super interesting as the GM to like, I love not painting in all the corners of a picture when you're a GM, like leaving places for the player agency to decide what is happening in this world. And we are now getting an interesting picture of William through Dika's play, which I love. I love about this.
You have given us a fantastic toy box with this scenario, and
yes.
and I never know what anybody else is going to pick up and play with, and I love watching it happen.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
As far as stars go, I had two, and I could not choose between them, so I'm just going to give them both. And they're both very similar in a way. I call it the "ooh, she went there" category. One, as previously mentioned, is a little better, giving Lusk the voice of his dead wife, saying, "No, show him the thing," which was amazing. And then on the same line was Dika as Charlotte saying, "Yeah, I'll just kill him if you don't give us what we want," which is, and this is clearly a man that she is fascinated with, but she's like, "All right, I have had enough of your shit. This is what it takes to convince you I'll do it."
I have the pleasure of running a game for 4 GMs. And so all 4 of you, I think, will recognize this. Like, those moments for me were beautiful. Like, never saw the threatening William as a path. And as soon as Dika opened that path, I'm like, oh my God, of course. Mm-hmm. Right. Like we it's very clear what we have discovered here, and the dependency that Evelyn obviously has on William and what's happening. Of course this would work, make total sense to me when it happened. And then again, the illusionary thing, never would have thought of resurrecting the wife and doing that and throwing your voice. Like, holy shit, how great is that? I love that as a GM. It's so great.
So good.
And my one advice to GMs is embrace that. You may have laid a lot of track, and if your players ignore it and create a nice shortcut, then follow them and run with it, because it creates just magical things as you do that.
Players will tell you what they want to do, and it's usually going to be awesome.
Yep. And if you have any notion of I have a story and I want you to play in it, get rid of that. Create the toy box, the playground, as Brian used, and then just play together and find out what's going to happen. All right. Wishes real quick, Brian. What are you hoping for?
In addition to the obligatory, yes, I want us to play more and more often. I don't want to say that I want Harry to get in a fight, but also, I mean, he is a slayer. Obviously, he's a slayer that doesn't want to slay anybody that doesn't deserve it. But I haven't, I've been trying to be, the peacemaker, the diplomat, and everything like that. And I would love to finally have like a clear target that I can just go down on.
We all want to see Harry in a fight, even if you don't.
Which is when I start rolling all the wrong thing. But
we got a list.
Yeah, roll like I did yesterday.
I don't like that list.
Brian.
Oh God,
to show you our list and tell you what all they've done.
So I have this image of Lady Rosalind and Dr. Charlotte going, "So Harry, we have a list." Oh, that's incredible. All right. Tomorrow is the third day of this 3-day marathon. We have Amy and I returning tomorrow night for a game of Kiss Me If You Can. It is Sam Dunwald, known for the Dice Exploder podcast. Wonderful guy. He's been a guest on my show on the podcast. It's a really clever kind of riff off of the For the Queen type format where you have card prompts, but it's going to recreate and emulate the Thomas Crown Affair type genre where we have an art thief and we have an agent trying to capture this art thief. And what's going to happen at the end? Are they going to quit the chase? Are they going to betray each other, or are they going to kiss? We'll find out tomorrow night. What's exciting for Amy and I is we don't know who's who yet. We don't know who's going to be the art thief. We don't know who's going to be the agent. I have read the card prompts. They're amazing. And I think that something special might happen tomorrow night. And I'm really looking forward to playing that. You need to find out when the next episode is going to be, episode 8. So make sure that you follow, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. You can always go to our YouTube and see the upcoming live streams to see what's coming ahead. You can also subscribe to us on socials. We blast out the schedules there. If you want to support the show for $1 a month, you can join our Discord. It's a patron-only exclusive, and there we talk about a lot of these games. We also talk about what's coming up, and been a little bit more open about the games that I want to bring to the channel. And I'm very interested to see my patrons help influence what that's going to be. Just recently, I decided I want to get Mothership back on here. It was kind of the actual play that put this channel on the map and has really started our popularity. I want to bring Mothership back. I had pretty dead set on which scenario I was going to use for that. But my good friend Z came in and said, "Hey, Craig, by the way, have you read this yet?" So I ran and grabbed it and completely threw everything away. So the scenario we're going to be using for the upcoming Mothership next year is going to be amazing. All right. Thanks so much, all. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.